Ebusia 4 ma obi biara kwa bason kokora ba counseling time with counselor DY Donkoh. Ene de ye ba be ka ho asema na se ye ba be twetwe ho nkomo ne de ehun ayi kakra. Enso ya kase ye be ka ho asema na se ya kase ye be twetwe ho nkomo ne de whatever happens ye be hwe ye de ho dwuma na bibia etimi akoso kama pepepe. Ebusia 4 kame ho na ye ma counselor akwa bason kokora counselor.
Hello.
Mawakwaba. Right. So tonight our topic happens to be sex before marriage. Now, design and answer share into brackets, right or wrong. And then umpire ebitwa. Sex before marriage, right or wrong. Sex before marriage, right or wrong? Counselor DY Donkoh, fire call.
All right, so we are talking about whether sex before marriage is wrong or right.
Right.
And then I started by saying that whether it is wrong or right, it depends on your cultural beliefs and also your spiritual beliefs and also your societal morals. Inti the yefi akyere yen, the amamere akyere yen, mi gidie fapem akyere me, and then me ankasa so the mi gidie will determine whether sex before marriage will be sin or not.
That's right.
It's baby if I want to speak as a pastor, I want to speak as a believer, a Christian, a born-again child of God.
Okay.
I will sit here to tell you that it is wrong because sex before marriage is fornication. And the Bible does not permit a believer to fornicate. In fact, God expects a child of God to set his body apart in purity.
That's right.
Onyankopon pese o Kristo ni edi ni nipadua si wo manesa for de muchia e wo kronkron yim e wo suban pamu ene ne ye pamu enti si ye ti nyame ase wo ba bia metia na me ka se nyame akwan so wo mimi gidie mu no sex before marriage is not permitted because sex was created for holy people. People who are married actually. And so doing sex when you are not married is unholy. And anything unholy can permit the devil to get a standing grounds to fight you whether you like it or you do not like it. Enti baby ambiti no be GDNT make us say it is wrong because we are not permitted to exercise or involve ourselves with anything that is impure or impurity, anything that is not right. So God expects us to do what is right. If God expects us to do what is right, and to me kase, now so the other one is most of the religious bodies, about 90% condemns sex before marriage, including Islam.
Okay.
What am I saying? And the yanti as say few na gidi say. I mean, when you obey man about you must know what is happening. You must know what is going on. It depends on your belief.
That's right.
So as I'm teaching now, somebody can decide that may not be the Amoke Kenyan Yawa Mami. I have made up my mind that whether God like it or not, it's about my belief.
That's
and
right.
You'll be shocked that in some culture, sex before marriage is a taboo. You must marry as a virgin.
Right.
And then they prune you, they keep you, they train you, they build you for the future. Whether right or wrong, it depends on your religious belief and also how you were brought up and the expectation of the society. But if I'm speaking from the Christian point of view, as a pastor and as a Christian, not just as a pastor, please, sex before marriage is wrong.
Sex before marriage, agreed, settled on, stamped. Say, when we are talking about the Christian fraternity and also the Islam family, you say having to engage in sexual intercourse before marriage, is not good.
Because it is not.
It's not good
because
it's not good. Of the spiritual belief.
Thank you.
And
the spiritual principles.
The spiritual principles and the faith.
Yes.
Having said that, can we agree that sex before marriage also has its pros, or should I say its advantages? Is this something we would downplay and not look at properly?
Personally, based on my counseling level,
Yes, sir.
if I want to be real, without sabi, why? Can say adding my spirituality or bringing in my work as a
Right.
pastor, my call as a pastor into it, I can tell you that some people also benefit and some people does not get any benefit.
Okay.
Will be yes sex before marriage. Will be
Right.
as I'm speaking today. Will be about the 30 years. They fornicated.
Right.
I would say that they had is it premarital sex.
That's right.
Before marriage.
That's right.
Woman that die the cry abortion the die but woman what still 20 years 30 years will be cross woman me no cry what no me virgin but awade na gu.
That's right.
And so, yes, it can have an advantage. It depends on how the two people are committed to each other and how focused they are and how determined they are that
Let me play the devil's advocate.
All right.
So that we could do a correct weighing of situations as it stands now. Some of the advantages of getting to, meet your partner intimately or have an intercourse with a partner and sana pana, there's a level of compatibility and sana what do we call it, the whole marriage bit is going to happen. And see, when that engagement does happen, if it is something intimate pano, and I say the person believes, oh come on, this is too much, I don't think I can handle this, or being so, this is a good flow. It even adds up to the relationship that we are building. It is one of the advantages that people look at when they say that people having sex before marriage, compatibility, and on the first thing. Would you want to, talk about what I've just said before we move on to the next
All right.
advantage?
So, Valerie, one of the things we should understand about marriage is that regardless of how you can flow with the person,
Right.
if there is no commitment, your flow in terms of sex doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
So there are people you can meet and have good sex with them, yet you cannot marry them. Because your character and your attitude has nothing in connection with sex.
That's right.
Sex is connected to your emotions. Character is more physical.
That's right.
And your attitude. And so, even if we are to sit here to say yes,
That's right.
Yes, regardless of how the two of us can flow and understand each other and become excited or we will enjoy. Yes, that one alone doesn't make the marriage stand and it will not make the relationship move on. Because there are many things that will be connected to the sex, not just the flow.
Okay, so when we are drawing a Venn diagram, sex is also part of the main your friend is saying weightier situations when it comes to marriage, because our Arabi has actually collapsed because the sex is not all that. Our Arabi couldn't stand because two people didn't really get to appreciate themselves better. They were looking at having to be, as it were, spiritual and living according to a particular faith and doing accordingly. They do not get to try new things, get to explore, get to appreciate each other's bodies even better. Inti obedru aware ni ma na afe adane responsibility and your friend is saying obligation ye na sudie say ya worry inti I had to say policeman wo gina kwa ho direct traffic ne responsibility anase cashier wo kanska wo counter na adwuma no yesebra na beye, and that is how it is seen after marriage. So are we going to downplay that aspect as well?
No. 10 times a big no.
Right.
We will not downplay it, but let's also all understand that the flow is important as your character.
That's right.
But what am I saying?
Right.
Me no me no come paso ye di ya ho fama won paso ya kleke fa to say yeah. It will not be enough because once I put on bad attitude, that connection can be broken.
That's right.
That feeling, that attraction, that affection can be broken. And see, then you realize that you flow on paso, and so we don't flow when it comes to my expectations.
Right.
And see, fa yeah, na so.
Reduced anxiety. On say when you haven't seen somebody's nakedness, and I say, will be, you know, when people are having normal relationship stuff is different, but immediately the first point of contact now, the intimacy is going to happen. No, there's this anxiety in between. Yay, maybe roaming we are your friend is saying chicken pox a good side has a answer me home Tommy near daddy or baying so who is send a nepo outward chairman so be a no crooked shovel of the Lord. Inti Nina adia, it brings some sort of anxiety before the main marriage. How can they can they actually put that side that bit aside? Because say we are having sex and we're before already now who say nyamye shraw sickle glorious chairman and also a belempe backside bibia you okay in nyafena there's going to be any anxiety or any, it's part of the pros when people get to have sex before marriage. What about that, sir?
Like I said, it's all good depending on where you stand in and your beliefs.
That's right.
But Valerie, yenti as yes, nambi pe bola kesiye.
Right.
And nambi pe roba bo muketwa. Because ya mensaka. The aka hebe kan so wen. I will enjoy that which I wanted and I have now on the table.
So the anxiety bits that sex before marriage is able to curb, you know, is not something as much.
No, it is not at all.
That's what we're saying.
And you'll be surprised that even sometimes after seeing each other's body, there are things that can put you off. And that is how bad it is when it comes to sex before marriage. And so when the Bible talks about avoid fornication, I personally believe that as I went through this topic this afternoon, I was thinking about, I think that Paul wasn't just talking about fornication as sin, but I think that Paul knew something more than fornication. So when the Bible talks about fornication and every uncleanness, it should not be named among us. I don't think that Paul was just talking about the physical bit of it. He was also talking about the spiritual side. That yes, sir, be free, BBC. But what am I saying? Sex before marriage, can actually do a lot of damage ahead of time. And also, I think that there's this kind of glory that possibly comes over the marriage that becomes a blessing spiritually or physically. So, it takes away some glory or it adds that glory. So, it depends. And also, sometimes, unfortunately for us, you might not know who you are dealing with. It may be a question is sex before marriage right or wrong?
That's right.
It's very powerful because sometimes you're dealing with whoever you think is matured. You only go to bed and after that you realize that the person happens to be not what you thought they were.
That's true.
And so, Siebusa said, is sex before marriage wrong or right? Me, I sit here to tell you it is wrong.
Okay.
Even though we have all fallen into it before, it is not right.
It is not right.
We shouldn't pretend and tell people it is right because we have done it. When you have made wrong, let people understand that the wrong is not good.
That's right.
And that is the best way we can actually direct people. So every leader who pretends to say right when he's doing it wrong, you are not a good leader. You are actually hiding something from the next generation that does not add up. And we were enjoying the journey. But was it right? No. So number one, we offended God. We did something that God never expected us to do, and that is unholy. That is not purity because God expects us to walk with Him. And so, Yebebuza say, is it wrong or right? I sit here to tell you it's wrong. Number one reason why it is wrong, number one, loss of interest or loss of interest. And I will explain.
Let's go, sir.
Yeah? When an intimacy becomes a routine without emotional growth, pain rises.
Okay.
Se ekobase debiara yeda, it blinds us that we cannot grow emotionally. There are things that are relevant, important, that needs to talk about or that we need to discuss and talk about. Once we enter into sex, we go blind. There is no emotional growth. I go blind, you go blind, because we have started enjoying something forbidden. And for us, you see, when you start enjoying intimacy before marriage, what you do is that you enjoy something that is not permanent, temporary, yet it costs you with consequences. And so it can take away your glory, it can take away your peace of mind, it can actually add up anxiety. You will not see it. But what happens is that a ban is saying, and I know so pay me. What me there we pay and a teen and so. Lose of intimacy or lose of interest. Eti ubon say obi tumi no obi da. O say I want me da 1 2 3 like wasesa. Like we jai me. Like ade. But Tama no one name die no. He looked so committed.
That's right.
He looked so real. He acted right. He calls me 3-4 times a day. Na then one me die no wasesa. O time will be the da near the da near cha. Emotionally, there is something that shatters. We don't want to even talk about emotional things that will make us grow anymore. Now, suddenly, when I miss you, you miss me. We start talking about a DNA. We start discussing the last time we had sex. It was crazy and marvelous. We start talking about, look, there is a star. Sometimes we start exchanging pornography or, emojis that triggers our feelings and our stimulations. And so, he said, suddenly, you don't talk about anything that becomes a foundation on our emotional level. Say, how would you respond? Yeah, we are discussing math. Suddenly it's not there. And then suddenly somebody look at you and say, Mempe was a star net. Mempe will be my son yet. Send your this year mukro 2 mirika mempe. This is not my way. Watch them 1 2 3 still or gidi. You will lose interest. And so one of the reasons why sex before marriage is not good is that people can easily lose interest. And the certain is that when they lose interest with that sex, you are good to go. Why? Because emotionally there is no attachment.
Right. It makes a person lose interest. And we are talking about the fact that, they have already been able to have their way. So that's just it. And then once they do the pre-no,
okay,
it makes them lose interest. Now, in the situation where sex is the reason why we are looking forward to get married. Now, I am not having that particular bit, the bond, that sexual intimacy with you. That is the primary thing at the back of my mind before I want to marry. It is in there. And only, Obibeka said, the cherry on top or the icing on the cake. And that is why I'm getting to marry this particular person. So nipa no go ahead. Now, through all the changing scenes of life, send your human ebekano. Now, eventually, they get to settle down with you. Now, intimacy has become what we call yebie punona ma nasi ama osafua. Are we saying that if this person who has waited this much after getting married to this person is not going to lose interest in the sex that they have waited or longed for before actually getting into marriage with you? Now, really? So this is what I waited all my life for. Is this what I actually had to sit 2 years just to come and meet Nofotabrabam in the situation? What do you have to say about that, sir?
Valerie.
Sir.
Sexual expectation can deny you of your enjoyment. Maybe one day. Me when this what do who say na was a Valerie. Me shata di anymore. Say na me expect.
Okay.
So I have an expectation.
That's
it might
right.
be unrealistic expectation, but I have it. Me call running who say na me pesa ye. Me share your kasa cry your kasa. That's what you udwaman for.
That's right.
Me sum you udwaman for. Ya say na ye wade de be brutal. Ma twen nyam sumunti. That sexual expectation, when it's unrealistic and you assume too much, you are disappointed not because they are not good. You are disappointed because you had it too much. Number 2. There are times we have sexual expectation that is too high because of where we are coming from and how we started our sexual drive
and
thing.
say orientation to
Thank
sex.
you.
Right.
Go for me. I mean, no man did that. Made it do one more. I mean, no man did that. No, you know, I have that expectation. That
right.
and I'll cry me no, cause the way you sound and the way I would mean, we have baby stuff. I say, oh, you're man cratching one more. To me, me giddy some what do what? You mean on the eight to be wow.
That's right.
That expectation when they just crashed, you will not enjoy anything on bed. So one, sometimes it's not about who is lying on the bed; it's who is going to the bed. Eti se kobasa the odam passion the okọ from pa no expectation say na me person no fuye say na me person the toye and na me kura madare dan nkrofo bi star me dan dan me ye ya no mawuro we so me ye 2 years old no say please take your time yes old say oh you're boring and there are many men that will tell you that they don't like virgins because of a spoiled girl, somebody who can actually do things. Virgin, I think I bet than natural. Pejano saji, I want me a long history. I want a girl. Or foul. No was our expectation. Definitely, as you have waited and you entered, you are disappointed not by their figure, shape, size, whatever. You are disappointed because you assumed too much. Sexual fantasy. You want to have it. Your ex was good. Don't think everybody's like that. It was you me say to kesi ma doggy you be shocked so be ma doggy emfa to flat be ma doggy na afa. So when it comes to my chain ya chain ye me no ya na after 2-3 years and a year better please limit your expectation. And yes sir, based on the question you asked, people will go into it and come back broken. Say in your way na me pe and yes, say na me hear no more. Na so me call ye no, and yes, na me nya no.
But a sexual fantasy, one way or the other, no, maintaining sexual arousal. The pictorial thing, it's all part of the chemical engine that aids in the sexual intimacy and process. So, are you saying we have to kill our imaginative desires? And don't you think that is what is going to make everything flat? Now, flirtatious situation.
So sometimes you see when your imagination becomes a picture in your eyes and you don't get what is pictured, you assume everything is gone.
That's right.
So assumption is good. You can actually assume, you can actually dream of, you can actually have it at the back of your mind and say, you know, let's be real that, and then again, to be decided, and then and then you buy your 2 rounds, you 1 round, but me ball, kiss, you have that, you know, that guidelines, and you'll be shocked. So buy an in because atmosphere now, not because you are rushing, but Charlie said I didn't cry when you are person in 10 won't say I'm faster to do for one so send your was me so be some a 1 bot dog in this, was the now. Say and they say new pano but Charlie I say me premo. So you are that dream, you are that vision, or let's say that you are that assumption. Say me ba say na me no and then Friday me koda ho ye nim see ko boy dwaman but ye ko na my imagine say Friday oba Charlie me wo so oba no say Charlie no ko me trend so and then you get there after showering down you realize that you are tired, you are stressed, and then it's like I can't do anything. So transfer so my bro and I mean to mean transfer my brother no I know that because who call your wife and say do there and the movie no the boy crowd to me send message say get ready for me today we will see who will win. You only got there and lost the battle. It's because such sexual expectation, if it is too much, you can be disappointed.
Let's go to the next point, sir.
So lose of interest. And what we say, a lot of women complain and say that only be the way we boom kwasia.
That's right.
And yeah, what we boom kwasia. Expectation was too high. So the person who who is no furnish Brazil and me was sorrow. Ye no who say no for no form. No, this is not what I want to get. This is not what I expect. This is not what I want to hold. Send and share Brazil and me assume me say. I think say no. To know that one to try and lose interest, and you will be no open. So the reason why sex before marriage might be wrong, number 1, loss of interest or loss of interest.
Okay.
Number 2, physical attractions wears out.
Okay.
Physical attractions wear out, or physical attraction wears out. Is it not wonderful that Valerie. I meet a woman, I meet a man who looks so nice, gentle. I meet a young, beautiful lady who looks, and then you assume, say, my God, my God, my God. Oh, run the body and anybody has seen. You meet a beautiful woman. To you, are you beautiful? After 1, 2, 3 sex, no one will say send to one. I say. No one will say you for see you free. No one will say Adriana Ukra so beautiful. No, it is not what it is. It's like yeah, Mamika be being or Mema. And Mema, when we meet you and we have not started the game with you, you are the most beautiful woman we have ever encountered, and every man will tell you. You will be that. You who wanna be and did that now saying our way. And no being one hey, now serious. Challenge me found the agro. Oh, wrong who we are. See, the beauty is not just about the face, the legs, and the hand, which is seen all the time. Sometimes what enhances your beauty might be the eyelashes.
Okay.
What added up is the lipstick. What added up is what you were wearing or what you are wearing. And the heels and everything. Yeah, you everywhere. The attraction sometimes comes down.
Okay.
And we are number one. Number two, or sanu that we are physical attraction wears off. Beauty now who you know. Anybody know. For example, somebody dressed like you have by God's grace. You look so beautiful, class and nice, or classy and nice. Now for you rather or wrong. Sana ubo corset.
That's right.
That's for the you know. Namuso wafuno.
That's right.
I mean, somebody is a put off. They said they love you, but they didn't know that if you love me, you must love every part of my being. So physical attractions wears out. Sometimes right after sex, they don't see the beauty they saw anymore. They are not interested. And I've seen and heard a lot of women say that what they meet the way, you know, I don't know, it has disappeared. And some can even connect it to family spirits, demons, forces in the family, and the bad spirits around because sometimes the reason why it happens like that is because after sex, physical attractions wear out.
Okay. And we are saying that physical attraction wouldn't wear out because the handcuff has come. So they are supposed to stay in the marriage. Once maware or no, because physical you will wear off no. Then are we saying that marriage is deceptive then? Because I am trying to find ways and means to lock you in a way that you do not get to go out. I'm not going to have sex with you because I know that I have a problem. I'm not going to have sex with you because immediately you find out that this is it, you're going to leave me. Are we not promoting deception instead of actually being open and truthful to people?
In marriage, what makes your physical, attraction wears out is your bad character, not your body.
And in a pre-relationship to your bad character cannot.
Most often, I repeat,
yes,
grammar. Most often, when it happens like that, people will try working it out. If it is not working out, they leave you. But in marriage, even if it is not working out, they go to some extent than normal impression. Because impression, look, mende wakasa, I can find my way out. But I wadi emuno, me de wakabi di nyamensoka, beside the busiaka, beside the society, any nation. Sometimes we go to a certain extent before people walk out. And you better, sir. So before you see divorce, it has gone to some extent. Before you see separation, sometimes it takes a day.
But you say divorce, you like a chill pill. Before
you realize. So when you are standing out there, it's not true. When you are standing out there, you say, and then no yes mejai, and then no more yes or mejai, and I will something has happened about 4, 5, 3 years ago. So it has been a journey of major, and then the yejai. But what would you about to say? Nancy, I'm worried majai. Sometimes divorce starts from relationship.
Ooh.
Then the people say they will go like, we work it out. Let's give it a try. And they entered and they tried them. So the reason why sex before marriage might be wrong based on your religious belief and where you coming from. Physical attraction wears off.
Okay.
The next point we can look at when it comes to is sex before marriage wrong or right? Lack of focus on other aspects of the relationship. Lack of focus on the other aspect of the relationship.
It's true. It's true.
I will not even explain this.
It's true.
People watching must get this one.
It's true.
It is easy to ignore other aspect of the relationship.
Because you're putting your energy.
Whether bema no oba no ya wo anopa wo we amako 3 rounds mu we madam anya here utumi koda from Friday anajo if you okwa sorry Sunday share me what at all did you talk about that matters to the future. It was all about edieno and aduane no. You didn't talk about anything relevant and important. Edia wo to me say ema wo refi adechin.
True.
Yetumi wo wa onka hwe. In fact, yetumi wo wa na wo refi be ma ne mreyo. You can actually ignore red flags simply because of sex. Lack of focus on the other aspect of the relationship.
Right.
The goals, we don't talk about it. The boundaries, we will not talk about it. The growth of the relationship, we will not talk about it. The opportunities that must be created from us, we don't talk. The long term, we don't talk about the future.
Okay.
Sex before marriage will be wrong. The reason is that lack of focus on the other aspects of the relationship. We will not talk about our finances. We don't have time. But you didn't to say cha-cha. Ti ye wadi we are afena mani beba me won say light be water be me nko na be tua say my bre afena wo be koma kasa ba ko no say so me say me nya adwuma all this while me nya adwuma say me nya adwuma me nkume ho but why you frustrated is because you went blind. You didn't pay attention to anything apart from EDA.
That's true. That's true.
Lack of focus on the other aspect of the relationship is real. It makes you go blind on the other important things you talk about. Nevertheless, obi so yadisa, but they talk about other important things. But those people might be few and less.
Right.
Please, can I continue?
The physical. Yes, sir. You can continue, sir. You can continue, sir.
All right. Valerie, I will say this and then say it again and say it again. Most often, sex before marriage as premarital sex produces extramarital sex. And I repeat, premarital sex sometimes produces extramarital sex.
Now, answer now, it produces extramarital sex, you know, and me patrol me person me busa say makes you go blind, you know, physical and not spiritual.
All right, so sex makes you go blind, spiritual and physical. So I'm going to explain. One will say emotionally. I think I will use emotional. Right. I will use emotions, sorry. I will use emotions than the spiritual. Nevertheless, I will talk about the spiritual. Valerie, so what tiny will be the down? Emotionally, your spirit, your soul, your emotions are clouded.
Okay.
Etubon said there are things you could pay attention to when it was sexless. Okay. That suddenly you don't even care. So somebody can actually prompt you. Right. They say, Valerie, Shakwano, or smoky. But twice, or say, Bizo smoky, or say, forget no Casadodo. You go blind. But remember, when we do sex, we don't go blind. Our eyes are open, like eating the fruits from the Garden of Eden.
That's right.
The reason is that after sex, what else can you offer us as a woman? When women are going blind emotionally towards emotional growth, men, our eyes are now getting more open. Because men know what that say. At the end to my me, I've had the opportunity to see it. What is left? If you don't have brain in your skirt, in your shirt, in your body, then I have to go. Because if it's about sex, other people can offer sex. What else can you offer to a man apart from sex? That makes us marry you. That makes us tell you our plans, and we want to keep you because there is something unique about you that others cannot offer us. So the eyes of men are open, premarital sex, the eyes of men. But when it comes to women, their emotions are closed, shut. They refuse to recognize every red flag. Anything happen, they don't care. So once we hear the bonny na about punish want to not their child.
But into omo bufu like eme bufu ba because they are not actually getting some where.
Please say it again.
Say somebody is not getting to have the sex we're talking about. Doesn't it make them angry? And then all of a sudden, and then they are having issues with
in marriage or relationship.
In a relationship, in a marriage. Both of the couple of the
yes.
two of them.
Valerie.
Yes, sir.
Sex is a powerful tool.
That's true.
So much that one of the easiest way demons can be transferred from one person to the other is sex. That is why it's hard for you to see a virgin who's possessed.
Hey. So there's no possessed virgin.
Grammatically.
So
that is why it is hard.
The virgin people that they go and give to the gods of the land, say.
The gods of the land, they go and give them because they need somebody who has never slept with a man.
Is it they possess them?
No. Or a virgin, you're not die. Right. And that is why even God, when he wanted to manifest himself in the form of a man, had to use a virgin and not some of us. Because we know
that's true.
So God, even God, had to use a virgin. Yeah, probably the name of God. We have to use a virgin because we don't know you're holy. And what sex can do, you have no idea. What sex can do, physically, spiritually, the power of sex cannot be underestimated.
That's right.
But because we have not go deeper into what sex can do physically, and we think that sex is just for fun. The moment failing, you're going to get. No, it's crazy. It is
that's true.
Boyfriend be person who the girlfriend and no pay no man heard. It is because you see there is power in sex.
That's true.
All right. So sex before marriage can actually destroy trust.
You said that earlier.
Can destroy trust. It's very easy. And above all, the risk of it. May say when you plant premarital sex, you are producing and allowing yourself for extramarital sex. Most often.
This was the point that you were raising.
Thank you.
Premarital sex.
Premarital sex produces extramarital sex. Those who sow premarital sex before marriage reap extramarital sex after marriage.
Okay.
High percent. Because you see, most often when you do sex before marriage, it's like you have invited the devil to start.
Okay.
When you keep purity, you have allowed God to start. And whoever starts with you will determine how sometimes you land and you end, if not by the grace and the mercies of God. And thank God that there is no sin bigger than the mercies of God. Either than that, anybody who start a journey of relationship, who say trust, suddenly, but we move not suspect because young wade no say move be na ya bidinya awo.
That's right.
Number 2, easy say you cheat.
How is it easy for you to
Spiritual things cannot be explained. About the saying, nyame be sunsun be da nipa yem. Ni ya wo de say nipa. About the saying.
And how is a physical, mental decision?
Because it is
about somebody's emotions, not
sex
something
is more
that is
spiritual than
explainable.
decision. We don't do sex by decision. We do sex by attraction. Decision by. Na me shia no awro ho a decision ayera.
Decisions I made in my pajamas. Top of the morning.
What shia baby will baby nice. Me see you rather them decision you disappear. So what Joseph did was divine, not ordinary. Wow. By running away and escaping. Anyway, she was someone's wife. And I'm sure that Joseph knew the implications and the consequences of sleeping with somebody's wife. That if I sleep with somebody's wife, that would be the end of my dreams. And the star I saw will not manifest. But young Joseph, no rat there gay was independent that were more opportunity to share IT. No for it, Kalushaya. You will do it before you think, yeah, me we can't come coming in under. You know, sometimes when she a guy for first time I hear sex, sometimes you ask me come between and yes man, oh my gosh. The guy yes will be a strange baby. See, that's why I didn't want to give you sex, because I knew that I would die best, because the man is say yeah. When you start the journey with sex, you might end with another sex, but in a different form. Thank you.